Person, and I did a painting on my poem. And what my inspiration for my poem is everyday life with animals, and how animals have a more deeper emotion than what we really think. And they get hurt too, and they lose the ones they love. I don't have a title for my poem though. So. Youngster felt something was different. He trotted out of his old barn to see his soulmate, leaving. He was off to the war, and Youngster knew it. He jumped the high fence and dared not to let him go, but he was taken by his old leather halter and led back to the barn. The young man in green looked into Youngster's eyes, hugged him, and said goodbye. The young man approached his wife, calming her. He wiped tears from her eyes. She hugged and kissed him and prayed that this wouldn't be the last. But she knew that she had to let him go. But one question still remained in her mind. Why did they have to fight in a war that wasn't rightfully theirs? She finally let him go. To Youngster, it felt like forever since his friend had left. But slowly he walked out of the barn and saw his friend's wife running to the mailbox with excitement in every stride. All of her energy was ecstatic. He ran along the fence with her using the same energy. He jumped up and down with joy, watching her pull out a letter. He was tossing his head and flinging his gold mane into the air. He knew that it was from his long-lost friend. She was struggling to open the letter. When she finally opened the old worn envelope, she worked herself into painful excitement. She had to slow down, take a couple of deep breaths. She could hear Youngster in the background. She could still not concentrate fully, so she closed her eyes, relaxed her shaky hands, and read out loud for Youngster to hear. Dear Nicole and Youngster, this year is different here and hard to wake up every morning without you two. I hope that you two are getting along fine and that things haven't changed too much. I miss you two and enjoying your company. There's a lot going through my mind, and I can't quite get it all on paper. There isn't a moment that I go without you and Youngster on my mind. Don't miss me too much. I'll be home soon. I hope to hear back from you. Love, Tom Hill. P.S. I'm fighting for you too. Youngster couldn't get Tom out of his mind. All he could think about was the day that he had left and that letter. He saw a man approach the door. The soldier was dressed in the same uniform that Tom did the day he left. Nicole answered. Youngster pressed his chest against the fence, his tail flicking with anxiety. His heart stopped. He could feel his knees give out. Nicole fell to one side of the door, taking a ring and silver pocket watch from the man's hand. She looked across the way to see Youngster, collapsed. She then glanced into the empty house of Tom's picture. Nicole held her heart in an attempt to keep it together. She then looked at Youngster, who was making his way to her. Nicole and Youngster now had to face the world alone.